The Random Jottings of Donald J. from Nelson in Pendle. George at Broughton Fire Station. Haunting manifestation. 1970s. George the ghost would lurk around the engine bay, opening and closing lockers. Once upon a time, in the small town of Broughton, there stood an old fire station. The fire station had a long history, dating back to the 1970s. It had seen countless brave firefighters come and go, dedicated to protecting their community from the ravages of fire. However, there was something peculiar about the fire station. It was said to be haunted by a ghost named George. George was not a menacing spirit but rather mischievous, always finding ways to make his presence known. George's favorite haunt within the fire station was the engine bay. He would often be seen flitting between the rows of towering red fire engines, his ethereal form barely visible to the human eye. George seemed particularly drawn to the lockers in the engine bay, opening and closing them with a playful spirit. The firefighters who worked at the fire station had become accustomed to George's presence. Initially, they were taken aback by the mysterious happenings. But over time, they accepted him as part of their unique workplace. George became a sort of mascot, a friendly ghost who added a touch of excitement to their otherwise routine days. Stories of George spread throughout the town, and people would occasionally come to the fire station in the hopes of catching a glimpse of the mischievous ghost. Some would bring their children, hoping to share in the wonder and mystery of the supernatural. Despite his spectral nature, George seemed to have a connection with the firefighters. There were moments when they would feel a sudden gust of cool air on a sweltering summer day, or they would hear a faint whisper of encouragement during particularly challenging rescues. They knew it was George, watching over them, and reminding them of their duty. As the years passed, the fire station underwent renovations and modernizations. New equipment and technologies were introduced, transforming the old building into a more efficient and functional space. But through it all, George remained a steadfast presence. The firefighters who came and went from the fire station often shared their encounters with George, passing down the stories to the next generation. It became a rite of passage for each new recruit to experience a moment of connection with the mischievous ghost. It was as if George was not just a relic of the past, but an eternal guardian of the fire station and its brave occupants. Today, the old fire station in Broughton still stands, a testament to the town's history and the dedicated firefighters who have served their community. And if you visit the engine bay on a quiet night, you might just catch a glimpse of George, the friendly ghost, opening and closing lockers with a twinkle in his spectral eye, a reminder of the timeless bond between the living and the departed. By Donald J.